What's up, everybody? Today we are on Barrington Street. We're doing Chit Chat Chop from the Old Apothecary, one of my favorite haunts on Barrington Street. I just worked, a few doors that way, shall we say. So why don't we come on in? We'll say hi to Laura, and we're gonna make some eclairs today. It's gonna be amazing. Come on. For you, I don't get the door. So come on in. This is their beautiful cafe space right here. And Laura and I, we've known each other for a long time, so we've got an amazing handshake that we just do all the time. So late. Two, one. Hey everybody, how's it going? Andrew here from Chit Chat Chop to go this week. We were at the Old Apothecary Bakery down on Barrington Street, part 2 of my Old Haunts tour, I guess. I don't know if we're calling it that, Adam, but that's what I decided to call it right now. So I'm with Laura McLeod, who is the owner, the patisserie master, all of the above, of the Old Apothecary, which is located here and also down in the Amera building down on Lower Water Street. Brand new second location, super exciting. And today we are going to make eclairs. So Laura, thanks for having us.
Thank you for agreeing to come at 2 o'clock in the afternoon so that I can get to bed in time.
Well,
I appreciate it.
If anybody's thinking about becoming a baker, Laura's going to outline some very clear things you need to know. It's not a retirement plan, it's a lifestyle. So anyway, thanks so much for having us. Like I said, you're offering up your space while we're kind of in between locations right now for Kitchen Door. Yeah, so let's just get started right on these eclairs, because eclairs are one of these amazing things. I always remember Tim Hortons as a kid. You get these like...
You're killing me with the Tim Hortons.
I'm setting a very low bar right now, and then we just build up from there. See, it's all in the progression of the show. So yeah, we're going to make eclairs from scratch. Laura, what are we doing?
Okay, so the first thing to do when you're making eclairs is you put milk and butter and sugar and salt in a pot, bring it to a boil. So that's what we're going to do. And it boils, the amount that I have right now boils fairly quickly. The important thing with eclairs is that you have to have everything ready to go. There's you just want to keep everything moving. So I already have my flour scaled out, I already have my eggs scaled out, I have my piping bag ready to go.
Perfect.
So basically I can just keep it going.
So this is what we call in the industry mise en place. So having everything ready to go as you need it. It's like doing a stir fry or anything like that at home. You have all your stuff ready to go. There's no road bumps. Exactly. So yeah, getting that all warmed up. And I noticed in the ingredients, I made churros not too long ago myself, and this isn't far off of a churro, really.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit eggier, but that's...
Yeah, it's the churro dough I think is a tiny little bit stiffer because you're going to deep fry it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's basically the same recipe.
So just to we're not deep frying today?
We're not deep frying.
Put away the fryer, Adam. Anyway, sorry. Adam's doing some great Foley work back there, just so you know. All the sound effects, courtesy of Adam. It's amazing. So while we bring this butter up to temp here, why don't you give us a little history of the Old Apothecary? I know I first experienced you guys about 4 years ago. You opened during Open City, which, if I remember correctly, I think I was at 2 doors down and we were doing Korean chili cheese dogs.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, and you guys were doing eclairs.
We were doing eclairs. That's how we opened. And now every year for Open City we do eclairs and Vietnamese coffee because that's how we started.
And they're fantastic.
And basically what helped us with your chili cheese concoction down the road was that there was a huge lineup for it. And it was our first day open, so no one really knew about us. But the lineup came past our door. And
nobody had dessert yet.
Nobody had dessert yet.
Yeah.
So they kind of wandered in for an eclair and a Vietnamese coffee while they waited in the line. So they had backwards dinner that day. But
at least they were both hot dog shaped.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, so we were on theme.
And actually my carpenter calls them chocolate hot dogs.
Chocolate hot dogs,
yeah,
great.
Yeah. But so it was fantastic, and that was a really good day for us. We sold out much faster than I was ready for, and it was a stressful day, but we made it through, and yeah.
Well,
wonderful.
One thing I really love watching, as your business developed down here is you started off in this space, and you moved over to this space, and now you've got the location at Amera. It's just so cool to see a local business scale up and really, produce really good quality stuff, as you will see, and as I can attest to, coming out of this place. So, our butter's looking
Our
pretty good,
butter's
isn't it?
looking good. So the important thing with this is then now that it's boiling, you take it off the heat.
All right, so we got a nice little bit of steam there. We don't want to boil it too much.
Yeah, and you're gonna dump all the flour in one go. We use bread flour for this.
Bread flour, gotcha.
And then get it all mixed in.
And if you're used to making like sauces and gravies and thickening it with flour or cornstarch,
Yeah.
this is not how you do that.
This is
This
not
is
how you
totally
do that,
different.
yeah.
That will not.
This
help
will
you.
not make a
That's
nice
how you
gravy.
get the best lumpy gravy you've ever
Yeah.
had.
So once it's all fully incorporated, it goes back on the heat again. And you basically want to cook this until the dough is shiny.
Gotcha. So a little bit of gloss lets you know that the flour is not raw anymore.
Exactly.
And it's ready to take some of those eggs on.
And I usually do let this cool off a hair before I start putting the eggs in because I don't want to cook the eggs. But it really doesn't need to cool off very much. I just stirred a bit off the heat.
Right. You just don't want to scramble the eggs when you add them in.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So where'd you learn to do all this anyway?
Culinary school. I went back to school at 42. I was an interior designer for 17 years, and change of scenery, change of career, change of country, change of everything. Came back to Canada and ended up following my son to culinary school, and went there fully intending to be a proper chef, like yourself.
Oh, shucks.
And then I did the baking and pastry part of the course and loved it. And it was very much like decorating for me.
Right.
So it kind of had that same vibe, and got to make things pretty for a living, and now they're pretty and they taste good.
Well, that's one of the things that keeps me coming back here, besides everything tasting so good. It looks amazing in the display case. Oh yeah, and we're almost getting our gloss here as well on
We're
the
nice
shoe
and
paste.
glossy on the shoe now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just comes back off the heat again. And so I just give it a little bit of stir. You can see how it's really all coming together as one lump, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
much smoother dough now.
that's perfect.
Okay? And this is the part that I'm going to get you to take over.
All right,
Because this is going to make your arm fall off.
all right.
All right.
I got loose. I didn't stretch before. Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to add these eggs one at a time,
one at a time.
and you're going to mix it until it's fully incorporated.
Gotcha. So this isn't the way that Laura would necessarily make 40 dozen eclairs at the same time.
When I do a batch of eclairs, I make 75 at a time, and so I do use a mixer for this portion of it because I'm not mixing in.
I've got to get my grip going. There we go.
Yeah,
That's more
you
like
need
it.
to really get it.
Really got to
There
work
you
it.
go.
So someone that bakes, like that cooks a bit, doesn't really bake a lot, like myself. I'm sure some people out there, they always say you can be more when you're cooking a meal. You can be creative and try spices. How important is it to follow the recipe when you're baking?
It's important for certain components in baking. You can absolutely fool around. You can be creative with flavors. You can do all those things. You just have to do it a little more, I would say a little more mindfully. Not that chefs not doing things mindfully, but you can mess up the chemistry and then it doesn't work.
It's about knowing what rules to follow and what rules to break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, something like this, you can add, if you want to have a chocolate choux paste, you simply remove a portion of the flour and replace it with cocoa powder.
Right.
And that gives you a chocolate choux. If you want, cinnamon or something like that, you can absolutely add spices to this. It's not going to mess up the chemistry at all in the cooking. But you do really have to follow certain things. It's like baking a cake. You can't just go, I think today I'll add this much butter.
Right.
You have to follow the rules on that end of things. But the great thing about choux paste is that once you have it, you can fill it with an endless number of combinations and flavors, and so it's really versatile that way.
2 more eggs left. Oh my god.
This is why I got you to do this part.
Little rag, down.
She jacked the heat up in here. Is it warm in here? It's fine. It's fine. Well, it's funny you're talking about recipes and how in pastry it's important to know what to follow, what not to. For years now, I've been lucky enough to have a pineapple upside down birthday cake made for me. But the very first time that my partner made it for me, she accidentally doubled the butter, and we've kept that
Sometimes you
recipe.
can have a happy accident.
It was the happiest accident ever. It was like It reminded me of that Simpsons episode where like they created the greatest fattiest donut ever, and so it was like the highest. Yeah, it's a really good cake.
Yeah, sometimes for sure you can run into stuff like that, and it works, and it's great.
But happy accident more than regular
It
occurrence.
is a happy accident. It's not. Yeah. And we've had our share of happy accidents here, and recipes that resulted as a result of that. But this is the last one.
The last one.
So good.
I'm in the home stretch, people.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm finally getting good at it on the 6th egg.
Do you know what's crazy is that's why I have one really strong arm from doing all the stirring and all, because there's some things that we do still make by hand, even in the huge batches. We make brownies by hand. One of the reasons our brownies are so dense is that we don't incorporate any air into them with a mixer. We mix them all by hand.
Right.
Now I'll show you something here with the
Okay.
shaker. So what we have now that we've added those eggs is you want this to have the consistency that when it falls off the spoon, you want this V.
Oh,
And
nice.
that means it's going to hold its shape when you're piping it.
Perfect.
So that's basically what
called
we're
the
looking
Voltron
for.
effect.
The Voltron effect.
It is called the Voltron. You haven't even been to culinary school and you know that.
I love it. I
do these up.
So we're just
do
going
that
to
anymore.
we're just going to put this in the piping bag now.
I love the fact that people can walk by and they can see this all happening, right?
Yeah. Well, they tend to be witness more to the bread side of things. I have a kitchen downstairs, and so I do a lot of this downstairs. And the reason being is that we're using pretty loud mixers and a lot of double boilers. It gets hot and steamy and loud down there. So the bread happens upstairs.
Can I do this? Am I allowed to do this?
You are allowed to do
All right,
that.
good.
I'm going to show you one.
So just
I'm
getting
going to
it.
give.
Oh,
I'm going to give a kitchen trick
she
here.
cut open the bag. I didn't realize.
sorry.
That's all right. I'm just jumping ahead here.
Okay.
It's so tempting. I want to lick this off my
Don't.
fingers, but it's not going to be any.
Don't.
So-
Do you know what? I was doing this at home one day, and a friend was over, and she always assumes that baking is sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not a sweet dough, and so
Can't save me from myself.
eat it. Anyway, so she thought it was sweet, so I put the bowl aside, loaded the pastry bag, and she went like this and put it in her mouth. And she was like, because she really thought it was going to be a sweet dough, and it's not. Okay, so bakery trick.
Baker tray. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna.
The freezer is your friend.
Freezer's your friend, people.
Yes.
That is very key.
Everybody
So that's
kind
cool
of.
from the
Everybody kind of wonders why everything is cut in such lovely squares here. It's because it goes in the freezer. It goes in the freezer so that it's firm, so that when we cut it with a very sharp, hot knife, we get that nice crisp edge.
Perfect edge.
Perfect edge.
Right.
The same is true for these. So normally when you pipe an eclair, you kind of go one at a time.
Oh, and then
Right?
a little kickback at the
Yeah.
end. Okay.
The way we do them is we use a full sheet tray. We go all the way across. Like so. I'm left-handed, so you're going to be totally opposite to me when you do this.
It'll mess more with Adam than it will with me, actually.
Okay, so we do it all the way across like this, and then we're going to put this tray in the freezer overnight, and then the next day we cut them, and you get perfect 5-inch eclairs every time.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's
Well-
why it's just consistency. It looks better in the case. It looks. It's just nice to have really consistent
Totally.
stuff happening.
All right, I'm going to try to mirror you. Let's see. Wait, you started over here, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm left-handed, so you can start from the other
I'm
side.
gonna make the tray work for me. Here we go. Let's see. So and you really got to control the flow with your right hand. It's
Those are going to be very fat eclairs.
oh yeah.
Lots of filling,
So already you can tell experience versus newbie right here.
but not bad.
No,
Really.
no, here. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do one more. Let's see.
There you go. Look at
Almost
that.
lost it at the end.
And so we use absolutely every
Every
scrap.
last drop, all right.
Every scrap. So normally I would have a bench scraper here to get all this down at the edge, but
Gotcha. Well, I didn't realize that you'd freeze them like that, but that makes a lot of sense, especially from a production standpoint.
Yeah.
You can get them perfect. It's also a great way to do it at home if you want to bake off 4 eclairs at a time, no problem.
Exactly. You can take them, so you freeze them whole like this, and then take them out, cut them, put them in an airtight container and wrap them, and you can take out 3 or 4 at a time and just do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go, into the freezer for 24 hours. So we'll see you in 24 hours when we're...
You guys have a
all done.
signal? You guys have a signal?
Yeah, they've got space upstairs. I'm just going to crash there, not tell them, and then surprise them in the morning.
Magic! Look, these eclairs are already cooked.
Look, they're perfectly 5 inches.
I don't know what happened to these ones. And so the other thing, obviously, you can do with Chit is make profiteroles.
Right.
And these ones I did cook a little earlier, so they sunk in a little bit. But normally they come out kind of looking like this. Slice them and then fill them like you do an eclair.
Right.
But just a little bit different shape. So what we're gonna do, we have 10 eclairs, so we're gonna make 2 of each flavor.
All flavors.
So many flavors. Actually, I might do 3 of each flavor. So
Sure.
I have, we kind of mix and match the eclairs here. We always have our classic eclair. Classic eclair is pastry cream, and for us, dark chocolate ganache.
Oh yeah.
The traditional ways to do fondant, I'm not a fan of fondant. I don't think it tastes nice, so I prefer to put
It doesn't often add much, does it?
yeah.
Let's
It
leave
looks
at that.
nice. It
Yeah.
looks very crisp,
Yeah.
and I know that my eclairs can look a little bit more. I don't want to say rustic because they're not like I wouldn't say rustic, but I mean, but they're not as crisp as an eclair done with
Artisan.
fondant. There we go.
Artisan is the word.
So, so we do it with fondant just because it tastes good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna do today. We're gonna do which eclairs do I have here? Mango.
Mango.
We're gonna do a mango orange eclair.
Ooh.
We are gonna do a cherry, a sour cherry eclair
Nice.
with chocolate, and then a classic eclair.
Perfect.
So
I'm excited. What about you, Adam? You excited for this?
I'm super excited.
Oh man. Oh. She's not looking. Quick.
don't eat it yet.
I don't want to get in trouble with Laura. I don't want to mess this up. Oh, where are we go?
Yeah.
So what made eclairs is you guys known for eclairs? Is that what you're known for? Generally speaking,
Generally speaking, our top 3 desserts that were, or actually 4. It became 4 after the first year. We started with eclairs, lemon tarts, and brownies, salted caramel brownies. And then during Pride Week, the first year we were open, we introduced key lime pie, and people would not let us take it off the menu, basically. So that became kind of the 4th standard. So we always have those 4 things every single day, and then we kind of mix and match to keep life interesting.
Well, and your bread program here is so good too because you've got so many beautiful sourdough mixes, and you've got a spreaded quinoa bread, which is so good. Country loaf's delicious. I love on your Instagram you always put up what bread you have on special and everything. So if you want a good loaf on the side of dinner tonight, or just make the loaf your dinner. I mean,
yeah, which is we've had people buy a loaf of bread and just sit at one of the tables and eat the loaf of bread, which is really great. It's it
that was
makes us
my
happy.
family. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Ooh, digging around. What you got?
Like this
I'm gonna get this on the burner a little bit. This is
All
the
right.
glaze for the mango.
Look at that nice color on that mango glaze right there.
Look at the camera over there. You go right to the camera.
right over here. Look at that mango glaze. Oh, I got one over
So
here
many
too.
cameras.
Many cameras. Adam, you spoil me.
Oh,
Okay. So there's another thing that is a non-traditional way of doing things that I do. So as well as getting rid of the fondant for the eclairs, I also tend to fill them on the top instead of the bottom.
Oh.
And I do that so that the ganache keeps the flavor or the filling in.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. You can sort of patch up your holes.
Exactly. Because normally the holes are on the bottom and then you always kind of see them.
Right.
And when people bite into them, it squeezes out. And a lot of our customers are business people that are coming in for lunch, and so that on their suit or coat is not necessarily ideal.
So how do you know there's enough filling in there? What's your? You can feel it.
You can feel the eclair filling, and so
it's basically all air pockets on the inside.
it is. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I saw that one plump up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good to go. And you can absolutely. Oops, sorry.
No problem. All right. So I gotta force the filling down the end here.
Yeah, you kind of just want to work with a little bit at a time.
Okay.
You don't want to try to work from the bottom.
Okay. Oh, maybe a little bit more. A little bit more filling here.
So what was the reason you chose, like, Barrington is a very historic location in downtown Halifax. Like, what made Barrington Street where you want to open up your bakery?
Well, I mean, I grew up. I've lived in a few countries now, but I grew up in Dartmouth, and my friends and I, back in the early '80s, when we were wearing our army boots and had our black eyeliner and our hair teasered to here and the big sweaters and the leggings and the everything.
It's like a fashion tour.
It really was.
Just have your Northern Reflections sweater?
No. But yeah, we spent time on Barrington Street, on Spring Garden Road. It has a lot of fond childhood memories for me. So when the thought of moving back to Dartmouth, where I grew up, and opening a place, I immediately kind of thought of this area and knew that it was a little bit neglected, Barrington Street in general. You can do an extra classic if you like. Because you can eat. Well, it depends on what you do. It extra, whichever one.
Oh,
you
Phil,
want.
no, this will be the bonus one. Great.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to come back to a street that I really loved as a kid, and wanted to see Barrington Street be the cool place to hang out again.
And just the changes in the past 4 years
It's
down
been
here.
amazing, absolutely
Incredible.
amazing, and also traveling around and seeing all the bakeries I saw in the different countries that I was in. I kind of felt that vibe would work really well here with the university, with the business people, because
Yeah.
it was a mingling of those, demographic and everything where I was, like where I was staying in those other countries, and there's no reason to separate the two. You don't have to have a bakery that's just for students and a cafe that's just for business people. Everybody can kind of work together. Everybody's got their laptop, and so it was just kind of a nice. I just wanted a nice
Totally.
vibe. And it do.
Well, it works.
Yeah. And I like this trick you did with the double bagging. So she's got her filling
Yes.
in one bag, and then we have another bag with the tip in it, so you don't have to worry about losing the tip when you fill the bag up.
Yeah, and there's also at the end of it, like at the end of filling whatever eclairs I'm doing for the day, I take the bag out, put it in an unopened bag,
Right.
and then I can wash the tip and everything, and I don't have to, because when you cut this off to wash it, you're going to lose a bunch of filling.
Right, of course.
And so this actually is just a way to not lose all this delicious filling that
Right.
we've spent time making. And so this is the black cherry one.
Black cherry filling. Oh, you got a bag there? Good.
Yep. So this guy, same idea, and these ones are both going to be done with chocolate. That's why we're doing these two right now.
Yes.
And then the other one's going to be the orange.
You got such good flow control, for lack of a better term, going. Look at mine. I have, they're okay. Which
I don't
ones
think
did
that's-
Andrew do? Oh, you just did that to make me feel better.
No, do you know what? I made this filling maybe 2 hours ago, and it's
Oh.
not as cold as it should be.
Gotcha.
Oh, I did them all. I didn't mean to.
It's all right. It's all right.
You can do the mango ones.
This is your kitchen, so I'm
have it.
happy to be here. I'll stir this
Excellent.
because that needs a stir.
That does need to stir.
Fondant. That's awesome. So
That's
what's
not fondant.
Oh, sorry, the non-fondant. We already talked about this.
White chocolate.
White chocolate.
This one actually has quite a little bit of filling in it.
So coming up for Valentine's Day, what do you guys have on the go here? You got
We are doing several kind of spins on the theme of strawberry and chocolate.
nice.
So we have a large strawberry heart that's filled with, chocolate. It's a chocolate shell, and then it's filled with strawberry mousse and then it has a strawberry gelée on it, and then dark chocolate shavings and dark chocolate meringues, as well as some macarons that have ganache inside. So it's strawberry macaron with chocolate ganache. So it's going to be very chocolate covered strawberries. And then we have smaller heart shaped ones, so that's kind of like family size.
Right.
Or really hungry person.
That's
size.
all you're having for dinner, Valentine's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that can also be the case.
Gotcha. Cool. So we got the filling and the orange mango.
Yes, we've got the filling in the orange mango. And this is how I normally manage this.
Right.
With gloves on usually, because I'm usually in my kitchen downstairs, but that cleans them up.
Okay, so do a little tidy up first.
Do a little tidy up, and then you don't muddle up your chocolate.
I'm glad I'm not doing this because everyone would be a lick and I'm back down.
Yeah, people frown on that actually. When you lick their food, they don't like that.
Yeah. I don't do that professionally. This is just so
just
informal
no.
and fun and engaging that I just feel like, I want to dive right in.
Okay, and so the way we do the eclairs. So it's kind of a good consistency. So you want the chocolate melted, but not super hot and liquid. You want it to still have a little bit of
So
body.
this is just pure chocolate, nothing added in?
Chocolate
here?
and cream.
Chocolate and cream, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
straight
so the
ganache.
way we're doing it is you kind of dip it in, and then you want to get that line.
Oh, cool.
And if your chocolate is a little bit too warm, that line won't hold.
That's like a fresh out of the barbershop kind of line. All right, let's see what I can see. Okay, so put it in, shimmy, and drag it. Okay.
And then you kind of tap it on the side.
Tap it.
and then- yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
Not too bad, buddy.
All right, second attempt. Oh, dirty fingers, that's not going to help anything. And then the drag, and then the...
There you go.
Ah, look at that line!
You have to. You get used to holding them, but they're still pretty delicate.
Yeah.
So if you try to hold it too long or anything, it's going to end up breaking on you.
Yeah, it's like trying to work with an overripe banana.
Yeah. So once the chocolate sets up, it makes them quite a bit more firm and they're easier to hold on to.
Right. Look at that. It's like a little shark fin of chocolate.
Yeah. There you go.
And, well, Chef, I've got our white chocolate and mango glaze here.
All right. Let's see the.
How'd I do?
Good. Good.
That's the great thing about using a double boiler. You can't burn it.
You can't burn it.
Can't burn it.
You can try. And, you can walk away and have the pot run dry, and that causes a problem.
Yeah, I've had a lot of run-ins with overboiling cream in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the trick with the white chocolate, it's not as opaque, of course. Chocolate on it. Here.
Let me just wipe off my hands.
There you go. It's not as opaque as dark chocolate, of course. And so you just have to, I guess, just be zen with that. And it doesn't actually hold, in my opinion, as well as dark chocolate either. But
I like that though. Be
tastes
zen with
delicious.
it. It's like
this is how it works.
what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good though.
So it gets the line for a second, but then it goes away.
Right.
And so what we do from here is we want to differentiate these guys
Right.
from each other. So in some cases, you're just going to take like
Got a little Black Forest treatment going on there.
just a little Black Forest,
Yeah.
exactly. So you have something like that. Maybe put a cherry on it. If I had
Ooh, a
cherries,
cherry.
I would totally do that. I don't. The classic ones always stay exactly like this.
Right.
And then for these guys, because we're doing mango and orange, the cream's going to be really nice with those as well.
Right.
And
Makes
so,
sense.
Yeah, and so we're just kind of like,
It's almost like a creamsicle.
exactly. That's absolutely going to be the flavor that you get from this. And I might be putting this cream on a touch prematurely because the chocolate's warm. But
You're
you
talking
get
about
the
being
point.
zen with it. I am transfixed right now.
There you go.
Oh.
And so the other thing you can do when you're doing profiteroles is that you can just slice them and fill them and put the tops back on.
Right.
They're a little bit more forgiving, I guess, than the eclairs when it comes to doing them at home.
Right.
Because you cook them, they puff up. If they sink in like that, it's still no problem because you're going to cut it, and once you fill it with everything, you can put more stuff in it. You're not going to worry about them breaking while you're
Right,
filling it or anything.
the filling sort of helps the structure.
Yeah, it helps the structure, and then you
Right.
can still make a really nice looking dessert. And it's really pretty easy to do, honestly.
I mean, you made it look easy.
It is.
Awesome. And as long as you've got those blacksmith arms to
Exactly.
to stir it up.
That's the hardest part of the whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, throw it in the mixer.
Yeah.
If you want, just to make sure the key is 1 egg at a time.
1 egg at a time, and you have to wait until it's completely incorporated, and then you add the next one. Yeah. So it's patience on that level,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what do you guys got planned? I mean, I'm just thinking of like all the things that I've seen come through the Old Apothecary here in the past few years. For Canada 150, they did a different dessert every month for every different province and territory, which was super cool. I mean, I know you guys have been super busy with the new Amera location.
Yeah.
Have you got any little schemes plotting? You got something coming for Open City or?
Well, I mean, Open City, we're going to do our classic eclairs, but we do have something plotted for Burger Week.
Ooh, Burger Week.
Because last year we did the tiny little macaron burgers.
They were adorable, 3 in a box.
Yeah.
And oh, they were so cool.
So I have, I will show you something super secret.
Ooh. Super secret.
It's super secret. It really is. It's not going to be after today.
All right, Facebook, keep it down. This is secret.
Okay.
You know, trying to build a little excitement here.
So what does this look like
Ooh.
to you?
That's got to be a cheese slice.
You think it's a cheese slice, it's chocolate. But I am making chocolate cheese slices to put on our burger this year.
You're my hero. This
So,
is awesome.
Obviously, this is a work in progress.
It looks great.
This is my test batch. But it really freakishly looks like a
And
cheese
it looks
slice.
like it has a little bit of that melt like a cheese would.
Yes,
Yeah.
it absolutely does. We were looking at it today, and you could fool somebody with this.
Oh, I can't wait to see
It
what
looks
that
like a
looks
Kraft
like.
cheese slice, so it's sticky.
Bravo.
But these are our testers. Nobody's going to eat these ones, but that's one of the things we're incorporating. And we're going to do a larger version of our burgers this year.
That is awesome. So Burger Week, if you are sick of all the sick of burgers, who am I kidding? If you've had enough of the meat burgers
Meat
and want to
sweats.
have, if you've got the meat sweats, come on down here and get a dessert burger to cap it all off. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's got all of my favorite flavors in it this year. People that know me were laughing because I, of course, have incorporated bourbon because
Well,
but it has chocolate and bacon and bourbon and maple, and it's got all the delicious things in it, so it's going to be really tasty.
that's what I love about this place. You always get wicked flavors, unexpected combinations, and I feel like I'm doing a tagline for a food show on the Food Network right now. Yeah, no, I just lost myself in a loop there. It's all good. But
You're loopy.
I'm loopy. I mean, it's all the sugar. I have a contact high from all the sugar. But thanks so much for coming on Chit Chat Chop to go.
Thank you.
This was super fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Now you get to eat something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, which one should I try? I mean, I go classic or I go.
I think you should try the mango.
Yeah, I do too. Who am I kidding? Oh. All right, where are we going, Adam? Right here. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh. That is crazy good. It's a little bit drippy.
Yes.
This is bad, but I'm sort of flashing back to orange pineapple ice cream.
Absolutely.
This was my favorite ice cream flavor as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pardon me. That is awesome. That was so good. There's that sugar buzz again.
Yeah. That's
So
going to
good.
happen here.
Yeah. So that's on my list of things to have again and again. Thank you so much. Come down, check out the Old Apothecary, corner of Barrington and Blowers, just out here. Amazing stuff. Beautiful cafe. Sit, do your work, have a nice cup of coffee, lick your fingers while you're at it.
Don't eat an eclair over your computer. That's a PSA.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
I declare that was a fantastic eclair. Laura McLeod, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For Chit Chat Job, I'm Andrew Farrell. This is Laura McLeod. We are out. See you next week. Surprise guest. I don't even know. See you then. You want one, little guy? You want one? No, not for you.
Please.